Hello, hello guys. And now in this video, as I've said, we'll speak about how we can get the values of strings. So let me go over here, and as you can see, there are various input types. We've already spoken about the data types. So we have now in the previous lecture we saw the nextInt, so we can get the integer values. And also now to get the value of strings, as you can see, we have the string over here. All you have to do is write next line. So let's just go ahead and check it. So let's create a string. I'll just name it name and then write. Okay, see, one more thing, we are creating this object on the 6th line, so you cannot access this object now. So this is not permissible because the program runs from first line. So 1 2 3 name. Now the compiler is the thing that will run this program. So the compiler will think that where is this object? I cannot find this object. Let me just go ahead and try this out. Next line. Is it next line capital L? Yeah, that's next line. Let me go back to the one compiler and write semicolon over here. So when I run this thing, you will see that we have a error over here. As you can see, cannot find this symbol. So this symbol is not yet created. So it is created on the 6th line. So I have to write this line on the after the 6th line. So let me just copy this, or maybe cut this by pressing right click and cut this thing, and then I will paste it over here. So this is pasted over here, and now we can input anything we want. So right, and instead of the number any name, I'll just write name. So yeah, I'll just remove this inputs and I'll write something called Saf is or maybe like Gaurav is a little kid. Is a kid. Is a little kid. Okay. So Gaurav is a little kid. So whatever you write in this thing. So this thing is like this input is like when you are on the facebook.com. So this is the input, right? You're writing your name, email ID, your phone number and password. So this is just like this is just like input. So we are inputting some value. When I press login, something will happen and it will give the output of your profile on Facebook. So yeah, so let me close that, and then if I write something like Saf, I can basically write anything I want. Saf. So yeah, now I'll show you one more cool thing. Before that, I'll just comment this out. In order to comment it, we have to write 2 front slashes. So as you can see, this text went a little fade out. That means whatever is after this thing, after this thing will be ignored by the program. So when I run something, it will not output anything because these lines does not exist. So it's like a comment line, and we can delete. Instead of removing it off, we can use comment line. So comment lines are used because whenever you work in a company as a Java developer or any kind of developer, when you have a team, when there are multiple persons working on a single program, so it might be confusing that what variable you created, what is it and why is it used. So sometimes they can write this is used for logging in. So similarly the user can write, so that if the another guy comes, and so that he can understand my code. So this is how it happens. This program is used for logging in, so he can understand. So that's not really important. And one more thing, I just wanted to show you all. we'll speak about interpolation. Interpolation is, I'll show you now. Write name over here and let's assign it to something like Saif, and write maybe first name. We cannot have space in between, so something to look for. And create one more variable and write last name and write Khan. This is my first name, this is my last name, and then I will print out this statement. Okay, now this autocomplete doesn't work when I need this snippet. So if I write first name and write plus last name, so let's see what is the output. So these are letters, right? This is inside this double quotes, so it cannot be so it cannot be added. So let's run this thing. So as you can see, the output is Saif Khan. So if I write some space over here and run this thing again, so we have Saif Khan as my full name. So now I can also add one more plus over here and give double quotes and write my name is my full name. Okay, why is my space bar not work? Why my full name is first name and last name. So write this thing. So my full name is Saif Khan. So now I want you to do a very easy challenge. Instead of this thing, I want you all to input this thing over here, right? Like your own name, like your first name and then your last name. So go ahead and do that now. So yeah, pro tip that you can always use this documentation and user input. It is like a cheat sheet, and yeah, just go ahead and do that now. So I suppose you have done that. If not, I'll show you how we can do that. So before using the input method, we have to import. We have already imported in the line 1. So now I have to create an object for it. We've spoken about objects in the previous video. I'm just naming it obj new scanner system.in. So I can use this thing now. This is a string, right? This is a string. So I have to use the object dot next line, 2 parentheses, 2 brackets, obj dot next line, right, semicolon over here. So I'll just input, write something like Gaurav Thakur Gaurav. When I run this thing, my full name is Thakur Gaurav, and if I write some space over here and just run it again, my full name is Thakur Gaurav. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. And then let me remove off everything and write any like Nikhil. So if I just write Nikhil, I'll show you what error we will have. So as you can see, this first name will be assigned and this will not have any value. So let's run this thing. So as you can see, there is no such as you can see, we have an error over here. It says that no line found. So that means we haven't entered anything. So we are supposed to write full name, all the values. Utla Nikhil. Right, run over here, and then as you can see over here, my full name is Utla Nikhil. Let me just give some space and run this thing so that we will have correct spacing. So yeah, and one more thing that I want to tell you all, I'll just remove this thing. I do not want to enter. Yeah. So now if I write something like 23 inside the double quotes, 23, and write 100. So now you might be wondering, like, if I plus this thing, it will give the output as 23 plus 100, that is 123. So I'll show you. it won't give that output. So as you can see, this thing, I'll show you in a notepad now. So one value has 23, right? Inside the double quotes. This is a string. This is not a number. Number is an integer or a float or a double. So this is a string. So as you can see over here, this has one number has 23 and the other one has 100. So when I add both of these variables, the output will be 23. We are concatenating, right? We are, as we saw in the previous program, we concatenated two names, first name and this thing. So it is basically joining both of them instead of adding. So now as you can see, this is 100. So variable 1, variable 1 and variable 2. So these are known as variables. So I hope that makes sense. And if you want to add two numbers, you're supposed to use integers, float. I've spoken about that in the previous videos. Integer, float, double. So those are the numbers, so that we can add, subtract or do something like that. So now we will create a nice game. So I'll show you how we can make it. So let me just remove off everything. I want to do everything from scratch so that we can practice everything. So right, so let's just go ahead and do that. Scanner, right? I'll just write obj, right? New scanner. Okay, not security manager. New scanner. Okay, autocomplete is so annoying. Scanner system.n. Yeah, now this object is created. Now I want to create an integer age. I want to use the input. Let me just remove these inputs. obj dot next int. So this will input, it will expect an integer value. So age, and now I want to create name. obj dot next int. So now over here I want to create one more. I don't want to create anything. I'll just print out the value, right? Print ln over here and write in the double quotes, my name is, similarly with the name, this name, and write plus name is this, plus when it has string values it will add. It won't add, it will concatenate. Yeah. So my name is name, my name is name. Name will be given from the input, and over here name, and let me put some space, and my age is, so the user will input that, right? Plus age. So you might be wondering, this is string and this is an integer, age is an integer. So if any one of them is age, then that thing, it will concatenate. It won't add both of these things. So this is a very good thing in Java. So let me write, this is first age, right? My age is 24, and this is name, right? So I'll write Saif Khan. So let me run this thing and check. Run without login. So it has some kind of error over here. It says incompatible types, int cannot be converted to string. So as you can see, as you saw over here, we did an error. We used the next int for the string also. So this will not work. This is, we are supposed to use next line, not next int. Next int is for integers. Next float, next float is for float. Next double is for double, and boolean, yeah, so on and so forth. So next line. So let's run this now. Let's see what is the output. So as you can see, my name is I did not put any value inside this thing, so let me just do that. Or I did. Okay, it isn't outputting anything because, let me remove this thing and check. This will work in a normal program. So I'll just see if I can fix that. So all we have to do is that we do not have to write this thing in the next line. We have to put some space and write Saif Khan. We'll try that and press run. I really hope this yeah, as you can see, my name is Saif Khan and my age is 24. So similarly, we can put up a form. We can put something like ask the user what is your name, and then after that ask them to print something, and then yeah, so on and so forth. So this is like a form. My name is this and my age is this. This is a very good program and it's a very basic one. So yeah guys, that's it for this video. I just want you all to go ahead and just try out all of the other things, all of the other input types. So I suppose you all can do that. So yeah, till then, goodbye and take care.